Hey King, thanks for clicking on the video. Today I want to look at another all-time great Lolcow moment, except today we're going to be moving away from the mercenary escapades of Jason Blaha, and instead taking a look at the culinary escapades of KingCobraJFS. Cooking videos are one of the main forms of content that Cobra produces, having made tons of his own unique recipes that he dubs food hacks. Now these food hacks are usually combinations of various different foods that may or may not go together very well. Now I gotta say, I actually respect these food combinations to an extent. I've even dabbled with this myself a bit with my world famous surf and turf burger. It's a double cheeseburger with one of the patties being a fish patty topped with American cheese, fried onion rings, lettuce, and a bit of tartar sauce and ketchup with optional tomato and pickle. Now, personally, I think this is a great food hack. It may not be for everybody, but it's taking two things that are great on their own, being a burger and a fish sandwich, and combining them to make something new. And that's basically Josh's philosophy when it comes to these food hacks. In fact, his first ever food hack was a combination of Cheetos and Doritos, which sounds perfectly fine. But maybe you're in the mood for something a bit more filling and substantial than just some chips, and you thought that my surf and turf burger sounded gross. Well, if that's the case, maybe you would prefer King Cobra's Cardinal Cherry Burger. This is a standard bacon cheeseburger with toasted white bread as the buns, topped with brown sugar, mozzarella cheese, peanut butter, and cardinal cherries. For anyone who is unaware, cardinal cherries are chocolate-covered maraschino cherries, but the burger is called a Cardinal Cherry Burger because Cobra mispronounces their name the entire video. Now, I don't know about you, but this sounds absolutely delectable. A perfect combo of savory and sweet flavors that must just dance across your tongue with every bite. I mean, look at this thing.
Trying to give it a squish just a little bit. There you go. And so it begins. That sandwich looks thick, ridiculous, greasy, and unhealthy. Am I able to even pick it up at this particular moment? Let's take a find out. Yeah. I got a bite of that chocolate and that peanut butter and that bacon. Oh yeah. Bomb-ass cross-section. Get the camera to focus. You can see where the Queen Anne's are bursting open on the inside. This burger is massive.
Absolutely stunning. I sure am hungry after watching that. But now, in my humble opinion, I do think that Cobra makes some of these horrid combinations for a bit of shock value, because he knows that putting chocolate cherries on a burger is odd, but he is quite possibly the least picky eater of all time and has a gut of absolute steel. I truly believe that Cobra should be studied when he eventually biffs it, because this man has put some outrageous things into his body and has seemingly been unscathed by it. And I don't just mean the excessive amounts of sugar and other garbage that he ingests. No, I'm talking like cat food. Cobra has eaten cat food twice, and even did a food hack with it the second time. He was also making mead wrong for a while, not keeping things sanitary and adding ingredients that are just plain repulsive, like chocolate, jalapenos, Monster energy drinks, just to name a few. And he would just let that stuff rot in the bottle for a while and then drink it. Personally, I believe that Cobra is just immune to that and really any disease in general, which is why, again, I think he should be studied. There is a lot more that we can go over when it comes to Cobra and consumable items like his drink combos and the many substances that he abuses, but I want to bring your attention to the subject of today's video, being the infamous French fries incident. Let's take a look.
This right here is my good book. Drinking Horn. All right. Some more people have been saying they want more videos on my phone. I might be able to oblige. Alright, y'all, so what I'm going to do is I want to show you how to make French fries.
Now that opening was totally goth and epic. I like how he refers to the witchcraft book as his good book. I'm assuming he's saying that in the sense that this is his Bible, rather than, oh, this is just a good book, which is funny, because it just shows that Josh is an edgy 13-year-old stuck in the body of a 30-something-year-old man. So personally, I don't really take offense to Josh's casual blasphemy.
First of all, you need a pot full of fry oil. You know, it's the same fry oil that I use to deep fry my chicken. Yeah. Second thing you're going to need is some taters. Yeah, some potatoes.
That oil looks bad, dude. He said that he cooked chicken in it, which isn't a problem, but that oil is clearly too old and most likely burnt since he's doing this in a regular pot and not a dedicated fryer. Now, to Koba's credit, he does say in another part of the video that his fryer was broken, so he's not able to use it, but this still isn't the most optimal setup for frying, especially if you want to save the oil to use it again, just because it's really difficult to control the heat like this.
I gotta clean my stove. God damn it. I'm sick of dropping shit, you know, but it'll get cooked off in the fryer, so. All right, you got all your French fries, and as you can see, that's bubbling. So what we're gonna do is just, I would just dump these in here, but I don't want the grease to splatter, so.
Okay, so there are some issues here. First of all, he puts no breading on these potatoes, so these french fries will not turn out properly. I'm actually a bit of an expert when it comes to making french fries like this because I used to work at a gas station that served food, and one of the things we would serve was fries just like this. So I know that you have to add breading to them to get a little bit of a crisp on the outside. Because they're so thick, you won't get them crispy all the way through unless you burn them really badly. So you just want that little layer on the outside from the breading. Also, that oil is rough. It shouldn't be boiling, and if it is, that means it is way too hot.
The next step is just drop them in there like that. Fuck it. God damn it! Stop! Fuck my life, YouTube. I need salt. Well, you know, that was real fucking smooth of me, too. Yeah. So you gotta watch that, obviously, when you're making French fries. Okay, I put a little bit of salt on that burner, so we good. Man. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the stove back up to 4, just like that. That way the heat stays consistent.
I absolutely love this sequence of events. He starts off by understandably adding the fries into the pot one at a time to avoid a disaster of some sort, such as the grease overflowing. But after he drops 3, he completely abandons all safety measures and dumps them all in, immediately causing the exact thing he said he didn't want to happen. Now, I do want to give Josh some credit where it is due. He may have made a very smooth-brained play by dumping the fries into the oil haphazardly, but he handled the fire pretty good. The situation could have very easily gotten out of hand and burned his apartment complex to the ground. But Josh covered the pot to prevent more oil from spilling out, turned the burner off, told the fire to stop, which was a vital step to keeping it contained, and added salt to the burner to help snuff it out. He was also blowing on it, which I'm genuinely not sure if that was helpful. It didn't really seem to hurt anything. But yeah, overall he did good containing this fire. I was happy to see that he didn't throw water on the fire. Never throw water on a grease fire, so good job, Josh. That's most definitely what's up.
I'm sitting like, fuck, don't burn the house down. Or the apartment. Yeah, don't do that. No. Just no. And you'll know when your fries are done when they start rising to the surface a little bit.
Ew, dude. Why do the potatoes look like that? It looks like they grew a tumor or something. I don't know if that's just because there isn't any breading on them, but what I do know is that those look disgusting.
Homemade French fries. And you don't want them to be too terribly chewy, but you want a nice little French fry crisp, yeah. Yeah, these are looking real good, YouTube. You know, my attitude, if a woman rejects me, my attitude is, that's cool, she couldn't handle me anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I love how Josh's mind works. He's making a video tutorial more or less on how to make french fries. In the process, he almost burns his house down, and after everything is settled down, his mind goes to gender relations and dating rants. Now, this is a topic that a whole video could be made on, but during the production of this french fries video, Cobra was in the middle of his infamous 6-year dry spell that only broke here in 2024. Now, Cobra liked to try to downplay how much this dry spell bothered him, saying things like relationships and sex are wants, not needs, and he's not worrying about it, and he's just being patient, but it was one of his main talking points for the entirety of the dry spell, so it was very obvious that it bothered him immensely.
what do you do when you're single? You know, do your own thing. You know what I'm saying? That's the best advice I could give you on that. Is do your thing, you know, do your own thing, you know. And if you're doing your own thing, eventually you might meet somebody who's doing their own thing, and then, you know, freaking you two meet and just have a great chemistry together. You never know, you know. And again, some of us are just destined to be alone the rest of our lives. And that's destiny. That is destiny. You can't change that. Our destinies were written for us before we were even born.
I'm just so amused by these rants that he would go on back in the day. I actually cut out quite a bit of silence. I want to say he was almost completely silent besides saying the fries smell good for almost 2 minutes. Then he just flies back into the rants on relationships. Ultimately, he's not giving bad advice, you know, be yourself and whatnot, but it's very obvious that he's saying this more to himself rather than to us as his audience, which is honestly a bit sad if you think about it for too long.
See, when that clock hits 12:24, I'll take them out and put them in the bowl. I'll give these about 4 more minutes here. Want these to get a nice golden brown, but not burnt, you know what I'm saying?
So in total, Cobra cooked these fries for almost 20 minutes in the oil. Now, that's a pretty long time. Not completely unreasonable, maybe. If he would have breaded them, they probably wouldn't have taken so long. But just one little detail that I noticed is that Cobra likes to work in increments of 4. Like he says that he'll give him another 4 minutes at 12:20. I feel like most people go in increments of 5. Maybe that's just me, but I thought it was a little strange.
Yeah, these are looking pretty good, YouTube. Let's see how they taste. Yeah, those french fries came out pretty good. There's a light crisp to them, but they're not too crispy. I mean, they have the lightest crisp to them, but they're not too crispy. For the most part, they're just really chewy.
I've said it many times. We all know why them bad boys aren't all that crispy. You gotta put breading on them, Cobra. Naturally, however, they still manage to be delicious. I mean, everything Cobra makes is absolutely delectable, enough to make your eyes roll back, of course.
Put a little salt on these bad boys. I'll grab some of that Morrison salt. Yeah, my table needs cleaned too. God damn it. Alright, so I'll definitely be cleaning my stove and my tabletop later. Just a little bit of salt. Yeah, just a little bit of salt in there. I'm not going to go super heavy on that salt. Just a little bit of salt goes a long way.
Cobra clearly isn't the most hygienic guy in the world. I mean, he does say that he's got to clean his stove and his table. I can't confirm nor deny if he ever got around to doing that, but my guy, you gotta wash your hands when you're cooking, even if it's just for yourself, because that looked like literal dirt on his hands, probably from the potatoes that he likely didn't wash before cooking with. And if he really didn't want to wash his hands, he didn't need to put the salt in his hand and then on the fries. I feel like he could have just poured it onto the fries, but I think the only reason he put it in his hand first was to look more fancy, which is most definitely what's up.
Well, anyway, the shit, excuse me. That's how you pretty much make homemade French fries. Anyways, thanks for watching. Catch you all later.
So there we have it. After the meal, we naturally got to spark up a pipe. I respect it, but I hope that you learned how to make some French fries. Remember, you got to cut your potatoes, put no breading on them, almost burn your house down, discuss gender relations and relationships, let them sit in the oil for about 20 minutes, add salt, and then enjoy. It was definitely very informative. But I think that's going to wrap it up for me as well. I have several more Lolcow moments that I want to take a deeper look into with all of you guys, so be sure to keep an eye out for more content on the way. I really appreciate you sticking around to the end. Have a blessed day, and peace out.